Hello and welcome to Relationships and Astrology, Love and the Planets. We are looking at the April new moon, and I'm Margaret Gray back in Dublin after our trip to Lisbon.
And I'm Armand Diaz, back on Long Island after my trip to Lisbon and Dublin. And Margaret, we might as well take this opportunity to say that we will be in California this month. We will be in Los Angeles at Los Angeles NCGR, and then we'll be at the San Francisco Astrological Society.
Yes, and if you're coming to the one in San Francisco, it's a whole day workshop. Please do send us your birth data because we would love you to volunteer your charts and to spend some time exploring them. So exciting things ahead and exciting things with this new moon, don't you think, Armand? Because it's a new moon in Aries. And whenever something starts in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, I think there's an added excitement to it because it's really the beginning. It's about a new adventure. It's about setting new goals. But how do you think it affects relationships? Because I'm really talking about a lot of individual stuff here.
Well, but the thing is, we are individuals in relationships. And I always think the Aries new moon is the real start of the astrological year because it's, the solar cycle is already growing and now the lunar cycle is going to grow too. And so, you know what I think it does for relationship? I think it gives a sense of optimism, a sense of going forward with everything in life. And then with relationship, you start to feel, hey, there could be new things around the corner, or there could be better things around the corner, or there could be something around the corner.
Which is kind of good because we've been swamped in a lot of very watery energy, which really translates into a lot of emotions and a lot of yearning and a lot of dreaming and a lot of imagining. So this is really a good chance to maybe make a move. So if there's somebody you're really attracted to and you'd like to ask them out, or if you'd like to do something new in your own relationship, maybe plan a new adventure with a loved one or with friends, this is a great time to really start that, isn't it? And because I think a new moon in Aries does give a lot of courage.
How do you feel though? Because not too long after that new moon, the moon's first aspect is a square to Saturn. How are you taking that? I sort of feel you might sort of trip over your shoes. You wake up and you run out the door and forget to tie your laces, and boom.
Maybe because I have natal Saturn in Capricorn, I tend to think that with Saturn at its best, what it can do is it can ground us. So with all this excitement and all this wanting to take action, Aries on its own doesn't necessarily do anything. It just gets kind of caught up in the excitement. It wants to do it, but it doesn't always ground it. I think it could do with a little bit of Saturn to ground it so that something can actually manifest from, these new adventures. But I am aware that Saturn is next to Pluto, so Pluto's also in the mix. So this could be a very powerful time to do something very transformative in relationships. I think that's at its very best, as we say, at its most expansive, at its best opportunity. So if there's been something that maybe we've been toying with for a while and we think, gosh, that's a really big change, but that could really do something amazing for our relationship life. I think this square to Saturn and to a degree to Pluto could help. What do you think?
Wow. You make a really good point for it, Margaret. I'll tell you the truth. I was a little down on it, but I was thinking, you get excited and then woof. But maybe you're right. I think that the Saturn will ground, and I think the Pluto, those are the first aspects that are happening after this new moon. So, if this is a great time of beginnings, it really is setting the tone, and it really is concentrating the energy, condensing it so that it comes to something. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And at the same, it's not exact just yet. It's a few days away from exact, but Venus is approaching her meeting with Neptune. And I think this new moon, that's going to be a theme for the coming lunation for the month or so. Probably we'll see it really be a big, I want to say issue, but a big, we'll see it come to light on the full moon as we get a little bit further along in the month.
And that can be quite a romantic aspect. You know, again, at its best, there can be some confusion, but also some romance. So having that in the background might be quite nice for this Aries because, you know, there's that little touch of romance there. One thing that I think is very important that's been going on for a while and is going to go on for a while longer is what's happening with the nodes, what they're kind of setting off as they're moving through the zodiac, because they're really at the moment, you know, with this new moon, they're aspected by both the Saturn and the Pluto, which is on the south node. So I think we're still in that energy where, you know, and actually the new moon is also aspecting the nodes. So it keeps feeling like there's something rather fated. You know, we want to use karmic for want of a better word, but that there's something that's bigger than us at play. And I do wonder how that will play into this new moon, whether there will be decisions made around relationships which have both a bigger impact in terms of the collective, but also in terms of the relationship, something to do with maybe something a little bit fated, a little bit karmic. What do you think?
You know, with Saturn and Pluto hanging around the South Node in Capricorn, I wonder the extent to which the big picture stuff, the collective stuff, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the collective. I wonder the extent to which that doesn't impinge in on relationships as well. Again, that's something that we may wind up talking about a lot more at the full moon recording, because the full moon will be in Libra. It'll be more directly square the nodes. But this sort of sets it up, you know. I mean, these are the things that we're concerned about. You know, we so often forget that, you know, the collective, society, all the politics, you know, that's the pond that we're swimming in. It's not someplace else on television. It is the pond that we're swimming in. And when the water starts getting a little bit hot or polluted or something like that, that's our experience, and we have to deal with it. And I think, you know, economics can affect relationships, politics can affect relationships, and, you know, the overall flow of things can affect relationships. So maybe that's something to kind of, you know, to be aware of how that might be making us feel individually, and then to make sure that we don't inappropriately throw that onto relationships.
I think if we kind of get stuck with these nodes, to just kind of come back to what the North Node is in, which is in the sign of Cancer, and to think, okay, what is the best expression of Cancer, you know, which to me I would describe as creativity. So being creative in relationships, being nurturing, being self-nurturing, being self-loving, also being nurturing with other people. So to really come back to those basics of what does that North Node in Cancer ask of us really as a collective, and ask of us individually and in our relationships. I think that's just a way to maybe find some kind of guidance through the chaos that we're currently in, and which really I think this kind of upheaval is going to go on, of course, well into 2020. So we're not going to be out of this for a while, but we're finding ways to navigate. And I think this North Node in Cancer can give us, you know, help us find a little bit of a direction.
Where's your comfort zone? Where's your security?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
where in the midst of everything, where is the safe place? Knowing where that is for you individually and for the relationship is important. It's a great strategy.
And also friendships, you know, friendships for many of us are our security. They kind of last often throughout a lifetime or different periods of a lifetime, sometimes even longer than love relationships. So not to underestimate the importance of those in terms of nurturing and security and familiarity, because they are our chosen family, whereas family we're kind of born into, we don't have a choice. But, you know, friendships we can choose. So I think those are kind of some of the themes to really kind of think about with this new moon. But I would certainly say to anybody, you know, take a little bit of a chance with this new moon. Just you know, jump in, go on an adventure, take a little bit of a risk, maybe.
But be careful, because we have take a risk, but don't be crazy. You know.
And if you do, let us know. We'd love to know how you get on, you know, at this new moon. So do send us some feedback on our page. We have a blog on Facebook every day. So do let us know how you get on.
And we'd love to see comments at the bottom of this video. And we'd love to see you subscribe to this channel and like this video and all of those things.
Definitely. And see you next month. Take care, Armand. Bye-bye.
I'll see you at the full moon.
Oh, yes, of course. What am I thinking of? Yes, it's all this Neptune energy. Yes, in a fog. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.